G'day guys, you know who I am, so we're just basically putting together a bit of a snapshot of what happened at the last round of franchise meetings. I'm going to go through some of the actual agenda items and I'm going to put that all down on this video to you, so you can go and have a bit of a look for those that weren't able to make it along to the franchise meetings. So one of the first things that got raised just before we had the meetings was when a current franchise owner had a park ranger come out in the council of Strathfield and actually talk to him about potential fines for cutting some limbs off or pruning a tree inside that particular council. Now, when we went and had a look at the actual council website, we found that there had been some changes from the 1st of July for that particular council. Now, this doesn't mean that it necessarily goes to every single council, but certainly as things change through the green landscape, with more councils getting more greens elected to their councils, it certainly seems to be something that's making its way into a lot of different areas. So be a little bit careful, maybe have a look at the different councils that you operate in and make sure that you're up to date with the understanding of what you can and what you can't do from a greenscape / pruning side of things. So have a look at the local websites. It's got all the detail there. If you're unsure, give us a call and we can certainly go and have a look at that particular website just to give you a bit of a better understanding if you're there sort of not really sure what you're doing. So that was one of the first things that got brought up before the actual meeting, so we thought it was very important that you get to know that. The next one was, and we're into the agenda now, the first one is the law of attraction. So we wanted to go through and give a bit of a feel of understanding the law of attraction and what attracts people to your business. So if your business, if you're not really sure what law of attraction is, it's what you put out into the world is what you ultimately get back from it. So why we're bringing this up at this particular moment is, if your business isn't where it should be, you've got to start having a bit of a think about what you're doing and what you're putting out to the general population out there as to why you're not attracting better clients. It tends to be something that franchise owners who aren't doing a particularly good job, leaving poor work at the end of it, so you're not blowing down properly, you're not making sure you get every part of it, a stickler, attention for detail, whatever that might mean to you. But there's jobs that you probably think are a little bit undervalued, but you still do them because it's income and etc., etc. So the cycle goes, you're doing undervalued jobs, you're not happy, but you continue to do them, and instead of actually making the switch of going, well, how do I go and find better clients? You've probably got 5, 10, 20, 50, whatever it is of great clients inside your base, but you've got to focus on the ones that are your good clients. How did you get those people? How do I attract more of those people to make sure that I continually build a better business? Now, unless you're focusing on those areas, you're just going to get the same thing happening day in, day out with your business. Because unless you're leaving the quality jobs and people are there going, wow, that guy, he does a really good quality job, you're less likely to pick up people in the street and other similar type people of those best customers that you have. So our aim out of all of this is for you to sit back, have a think about the business that you've got. If you're excited about what you've got, great. If you're there going, I'm not really sure and I'm not 100% happy with what the base is that I have, then you've got to start thinking about what it is that you can change in how you operate your franchise. Now, if you're not sure, there's certainly Gary who can come out and see you, sit down, go through a business review, have a further conversation around what you could do to improve. And again, if you're there going, okay, well, I don't necessarily get along with Gary, or I would prefer to speak to someone else, you can certainly speak to myself or Peter. We're certainly here to help you in any capacity that we can. So please make sure you make that effort if you're not 100% happy with where you're at, because ultimately you've got to start focusing on how to build that better business. Okay, so that's the agenda one item. The second agenda item is the first 12 months. So we're going through a little bit of an idea of, okay, getting everyone in the mindset of what happens in a Jim's mowing business. So the first 12 months is all about building your base. If you buy a big base when you first come in, sure, it's not what you're necessarily striving for, but the majority of guys coming in either buy a new business or a split business, something that's not 100% there. It needs a bit of attention, it needs to be built. So they're going to put clients in. So they might take it from 0 regulars or 30 regular customers up to 50, 60, 80, 100, whatever it is that you can handle as regular clients. Now, the whole idea is you build the base inside the first 12 months. Yeah, sure, there'll be some that are underquoted, etc., etc. We all know that. But the whole idea is build the base. Then over and above the base, in year 2, you're looking to put the real value into the business. So you should have built the regular client number to where you're busy. Now you've got to add the value. So the add the value part is where you put your prices up, or you look at the clients that you have and start looking at the bottom third, bottom 5%, whatever it might be for you, and working, they're undervalued, I've got to get those up. Once I've done that, you continue with the next stage. And after a 12-month period, the value in your business should be a lot bigger and better than when you first started in that 12-month period. So now after 2 years, you've got to the stage where you've built a base, you've got a good core business, you've now got rid of a lot of the rubbish that you've had in your business. You should have a very, very good business running forward. From there, what are the things that you can continually improve? And it's not necessarily the big items. It could be just little things that you can start to look at implementing. So do you start making sure that you've got people on programs? Are you making sure that you've got less clients, but maybe doing more of the extra services and concentrating in the gardens? Or is it that you really want to run a big mowing business? Again, there's no right or wrong here. It's just starting to get very clear on where you want to take the business, because ultimately that's how you use the Jim's Mowing Sydney support staff to help you achieve the ultimate aim that you're looking for, which is for you to grow the best business that you possibly can with our assistance. And that's what we're here to do, is help you through that journey. So if something's not working, if you're not sure what's going on, please feel free to reach out. I know it's not the time of year, but maybe once we get past the next sort of 6 months, 8 months with the growing season, maybe that's something sit down in the winter months and have a further conversation around that. So again, it's up to you, but there's plenty of areas that you can work on from year 3 onwards. And if you're not 100% sure where you should be focusing, please just ask. The next one is we're going through the transforming of your business over the next 4 to 5 months. So those of you, and we know everyone carries the occasional bad client, we've all done it. The next 4 months, 5 months is when we get the 90% of our unserviced work. It's a little bit dry at the moment, we understand, but still, as soon as we get some rain, greens up, things start going, this is when we're going to get the majority of our unserviced work, is in the next 4 to 5 months. And that was the proven last year, where there was just under 9,000 unserviced leads in Jim's Mowing Sydney, which is here in Sydney, and also up the mid-north and far north coast of New South Wales. Now, we want to make sure that we don't have those levels of unserviced work, but it's not so much about the unserviced work. It's more about, if you don't have the client base, if you don't have the client base that you really want, you need to start making sure that you be very selective about the work that you take on. Now, this could be you looking at particular services. So maybe you only offer lawn care or spraying, or you might only do gardening over this period, or it's gardening regular, or maybe it's only mow regs that you're after. Again, it's entirely up to you as to what you select, but it's got to be something that works inside your business. I would encourage you to take work, and I would encourage you to get rid of some of those low-paying clients, people that ask you to do so much, because we know that 10 to 20% of your client base is probably going to soak up 50, 60, 70% of your time, but not actually give you the income that that time relates to. So they spend forever on the phone, they're always complaining about something. You know the ones, you know those clients that really just annoy you. Excuse me. Well, now's the time to make sure that we cut through that. Make the most of the next 4 to 5 months. Make sure you take those leads that are on offer. Be very selective about what you take. Cut out some of the suburbs that you take. Don't just turn to zero. Turning to zero means that in 6 months' time, you're going to have exactly or roughly the same business that you have today. And if it's not working today, in 6 months' time, it's still not going to work. So don't do the same things and expect a different result, because it's just not going to change. So it's up to you to make sure that your work requirements are all dialed in over the next 4 to 5 months. Take what you need, make sure you're dialed in so that you get what you want, and don't take anything that you don't want, because we don't want people phoning up and continually transferring leads. It's not what we want to have happen either. But it's a great time for you to transform your business over this next little while. So good luck with all of that. So lastly is just getting back to are you happy with the base that you have? going through each of the regular clients that you have, and it doesn't have to be just your regulars. You can say, well, my regular clients are very, very good. But the clients that may not necessarily be that good, it could be all the irregular regulars, the casual clients that phone you up. They're all time wasters or potential time wasters. And I know they're income, I get it. But sometimes you've got to say no to people to start to go after the better quality work, because out of 9,000 leads, I know we get, franchise owners saying, oh, but this one's crap and that one's crap. Yeah, look, it happens. But I can tell you, out of 9,000 leads that went unserviced, there's probably a good chunk of those that are very, very, very good clients that we've missed out on the opportunity because you weren't able to take the work at that time. But you still kept some of those rubbish clients or less than desirable clients that you probably should have moved on. Now, whether you want to keep doing that, that's up to you. But I would suggest that you look at your business, start to work on, maybe it's only 5% this year, maybe it's 10% that you look at and say, they're the ones I've got to make sure that aren't with me this time next year so that my business is improved. Maybe only a little bit, but any improvement's better than nothing. But now's the perfect time to make sure that you look at improving that base. So we know we hold on to clients that are less than desirable for our business. Okay, and there's a real reason that we do that. I think we're all a little bit fearful of what may happen if we start to get rid of some of our clients. We can get very busy in these franchises. Those that have been in a little while know that as things pick up, it gets very, very busy. You're chasing your tail, you're doing everything for everyone, you're trying to make sure you don't forget anyone and you don't generate any complaints. But sometimes it's actually better to get back to 80% busy and get rid of some of those people that are on the fringes, because they just soak up time. They stop you from actually focusing on real good quality clients that you can attract into your business. So take the time, isolate which one of those people or those clients that really aren't good for your business. Make sure that you start to think about how you move them on and the best ways of moving those clients on, so that you can then be very, very open to taking on new clients. Again, it's the time when you'll get plenty of people walking up in the street, and it's no good saying, no, I can't help you because I've got to go to 5 lawns that are 5 suburbs away. That doesn't make sense, walking away from someone that's next door to one of your other regular customers. So this is a time to start to think about some of those out of line, swapping some clients with other franchise owners, and really get your base where it should be. So the next agenda item is building some efficiencies into your business. Now, obviously, a couple of the really big tools that can help build efficiencies into your business is FMS. FMS is probably one of those tools that those that use it particularly well excel and make great businesses, because they use the system to build a better franchise. Those that don't, who just turn it off and not really use it because it's a $10 lead fee, you're not using the tools that you've got there. We've gone through it before, where if we send you out 10 leads, we know you're going to convert about 80% of those leads. So that's 8 out of 10. Out of those 8, you're going to convert 1 in 3. So you're going to be about 2 to 3 regular clients from that. And we know regular customers are about $1,000 to $1,200 per annum for those particular customers. So ultimately, you're going to pay about $100 for about $2,500 worth of income. It's pretty much a no-brainer there, guys. So don't be afraid on taking on some of the new jobs, because every time you get through a bad one, just around the corner is another good one. So always stay focused, always stay, and make sure you use that tool. The other one is making sure you keep spares in the ute or on the truck or in the trailer, whatever that may be for you. You just need to make sure you keep pull cords, blades, oils, all the consumables that we have in the business. Keep them inside the vehicle with you. If you use it, next time you're in the mowing shop, make a list of all the things that you need to pick up, because there's no point using it now. A month down the track, you haven't replaced it, you have a breakage, and then you've got to stop everything and go back to the mowing shop. It's downtime, it's a waste of time, and all you have to do is get a little bit organised and make sure you keep all that stuff inside the truck. So make the effort, go and make the investment in it so that you can limit the amount of downtime that you have over the growing season, so you can make as much money as you possibly can. Lastly, guys, is the upcoming year's training next year. So what we're going to be doing is releasing a calendar at the end of this year that's going to pretty much walk you through when the franchise meetings are for the year. So the 4 that we have, then we're going to have in there a golf day. We're going to have the Christmas party as normal. We're going to also have some workshops that we set up during the winter months for you. We're going to have when we're going to start the OHS, which is going to ultimately be at the back end of April, so that you've got 3 months over the winter months to get the OHS all signed off on. So it's not a pain trying to get that done at this time of year, which we are terribly sorry that we let it slide so long. But obviously that was largely because that was something that Perry used to do, and we all know what happened there. So there's no point going over that. We'll fix it next year. But if there's anything that you'd like us to add to the workshops, we'd love for you to get in touch to say, we'd really love this or would really love that. We're going to be trying to make sure that we get some more videos like this, where we're maybe not as long as what I've done so far, but certainly at the end of each franchise meeting I'll get up all the points that people have raised throughout the duration. We'll try and get those on a little video like this, so you guys can go and have a bit of a look, and hopefully you get something out of it. If I can record one live, that might be a better option than necessarily just my mug here talking to you. And certainly hearing some good ideas from the rest of the franchise owners that shared when they came along to the franchise meetings was certainly good. That's it for me, guys. We normally cover general business now, but there's no general business in this respect. But if there's any further questions or anything you'd like to talk about, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. My number is 0402 466 341. I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you around the traps. Thanks bye for now.